This is part 2 of Delta Sigma Theta initiation ritual. So it says purity. Purity of mind and conduct is the first of womanhood. How? And the name of our founders. That's necromancy. Whose exemplary lives before us have been an inspiration. I like the second jewel of our bright Sigma purity, and the fidelity. Nothing is more noble, nothing is more vulnerable than fidelity. Fidelity and truth are the second sacred excellences and endowments of the human mind, and the of our deported soars faithfully until death to the ideals of Delta. This is faithful unto death. The only people I've seen be faithful to death is John the Baptist, Stephen. Anyway, I like the third jewel of our beloved Sigma fidelity. Justice. Nothing which lacks justice can be morally right. Justice is the respectful observance of all that is fair and equitable in human relations. It is firm. You guys realize that, like, if God gave us justice, we'd all be dead, right? Anyway, it is firm and continuous desire to render everyone that is his due. In the name of the executive branch, from whom we expect justice tempered with kindness and understanding. I really doubt that, because I've seen people try to renounce and they tell them that they made a covenant and they tell them you can't get out. So how is that justice? What about respect for free will? I like the fourth jewel of our resplendent, which means looking very impressive and beautiful. Anyway, it says Sigma, justice, compassion. There was never a heart truly great and generous that was not tender and passionate, ever ready to respond to the needs of the fortunate and the weak in the name of our honor. What? Who? How? How did they do that? They made a cult. They made a deity worship, y'all. It says, in the name of our honor memories who have inspired us by their great endeavors for human betterment, I light the fifth jewel of our beautiful Sigma dedication. This is not bettering people. Anyway, dedication to find yourselves. You must lose yourselves in living for a purpose of which you fervently believe and striving to obtain some worthwhile goal relating to the common good and to highest human values. Human values are bad. Have you seen Humanity? In the name of those dedicated women who endured unspeakable hardships in the age-long struggle for human freedom, what do they need to be free from? What? For the emancipation of women and for those rights and privileges which we as women now enjoy. How? What things have we enjoyed? Do you guys realize, like, the bra women, the women that were like, we need to free our boobs, like, what did they do other than give us more progressive women that don't want to submit and then don't are mad at men? Jezebel is like the most frequent spirit right now. And it's also in this deity. It's very strong. It's very aggressive. It's very arrogant, very prideful. I like the sixth jewel of our glorious Sigma dedication. Fellowship. Fellowship is heaven. How? Anyway, fellowship is life. Music is life. Anyway. What? Anyway, it is the service that we render that makes us happy, the communion with God that gives us strength. They haven't mentioned God once. Anyway, and the fellowship one with another. Can we mention Jesus? Because anyone, God can mean anything at this time. Anyway, in the name of our many graduates and undergraduates who keep alive the spirit of fellowship, necromancy. Anyway, I like the seventh jewel of our mighty Sigma fellowship. Temperance. Temperance is a bridle of gold. It is the firm and moderate dominion of reason over passion and unrighteous impulses. But sorority and fraternity cultures is literally fornication galore again. And all our activities, let there be temperance in the name of our national officers. So, in the name of people, you want to be having temperance, which doesn't make sense. Past and present, whose decision and authority have been characterized by wisdom and temperance. I like the eighth jewel of our magnificent Sigma temperance. And it says courtesy is more than mere politeness or civility. In our relationships with others, it springs from thoughtfulness and genuine feelings for others, and from true respect for the dignity of the human personality. Again, they beat the personality out of you, so that makes no sense. Anyway, in the name of all that is good and orderly in the conduct of our relationships. No, anyway, I like this ninth jewel of our wonderful Sigma, courtesy. And then it says, Prez, these jewels in our beloved Sigma have been ignited by the torch of wisdom. Also, you guys know that, I know that a lot of people realize that Minerva is over this, but do you realize that Minerva is actually just Athena? Alright, so Athena is also shown as wisdom, strategic warfare, and crafts. It also said that I don't talk to her. Anyway, it says the torch of enlightenment is like known with her, as well as the flame of wisdom. So a lot of people see her as wise. And then, yeah, somebody opened the door. Anyway, but so it says the prayer says these jewels of our beloved Sigma have been ignited by the torch of wisdom, reminding us that wisdom and virtue go hand in hand. As you take the final pledge, standing in the radiance of these jewels, think deeply on their significance. I shall now administer to each candidate the membership pledge. Listen first to that pledge. This is the press reads the pledge to the candidate for their consideration before they are asked to repeat it individually. Each candidate then comes forth one at a time to the induction table, kneels. It says optionally, but you know that they 100% all kneeled. They don't do things like individually. And claps both hands on the torch of wisdom and repeats the pledge. It says no candidate should read this pledge alone from the paper pinned in front of her. a little bit surprised by that because I would assume that they would have already drilled it into them already at this point. Anyway, candidate, I do promise in the presence of the eternal spirit of truth, Athena, because it ain't Jesus, it's not the Holy Spirit, so who else would it be? Anyway, I'll break this here and we're gonna keep talking about it later. Alrighty, this is part 2. See you on part 3. God bless you, God keep you.